There is no doubt that dogs are a man's best friend. But that doesn't mean that we always understand each other. I mean, how often do you always understand your human best friend? Since dogs can't express themselves in human understanding, there are a lot of questions about their behaviors that many dogs' parents still don't understand. There are times when our canine friends would have us tilting our heads and wondering, why did they do that? Thankfully, Google has made it easier than ever to ask and find answers to questions that you may never have asked or understood about your dog before. If we're being honest, much of dog life remains a mystery to us humans. But what better place to investigate our canine curiosities than on Google? So in today's video, we'll be looking at 10 of the most Googled questions about dogs. Hopefully, it would help answer some odd and mystifying questions about dogs. Alright, let's get right to it. Question 1. Why do dogs eat grass? It might be shocking news to some dog parents that dogs can eat grass. Many people just assume that dogs should feed on food with meat and bones. Little wonder it's one of the most Googled questions about dogs. So why do dogs eat grass? Well, different vets and research institutions may argue about the answer to this question. But most vets and dog owners believe that dogs eat grass when they have an upset stomach, and they eat it to make themselves throw up. But only 10% of dogs who were studied eating grass were sick beforehand, and only a quarter of dogs threw up right after eating grass. Some researchers believe that dogs also eat grass to fill a nutritional deficit in fiber, improve digestion, and treat intestinal worms. However, the most likely reason for your dog eating grass is regular old boredom. When dogs are bored, they often like to snack on grass. As a dog owner, you don't have to worry when your dog snacks on grass because there's a general consensus that eating grass is not harmful. As a matter of fact, vets confirm that it's normal behavior that happens in 1 out of every 2 pups. But you have to ensure that your dog is not eating all kinds of plants. Some plants are actually harmful for dogs, and some might contain chemicals that are toxic to them. Question 2. Why do dogs howl? If you didn't know, dogs are descendants of wolves, so howling is a natural and instinctive trait. It's normal for a dog to howl as long as it is not happening several times in one day. So, what do we know about dogs howling? When a dog howls, it could be for a variety of reasons. First off, dogs howl as a way of communicating with other dogs. Oftentimes, it's just a fun activity they do with other dogs to ease off boredom. But other times, it could be a sign of solidarity and friendship. Dogs also tend to howl to make their presence known and verbally mark a territory. So if a dog wants to make the other dogs in the area know who's boss, he might howl to send a message. But howling isn't just restricted to positive situations. Dogs might also howl when they are sick or injured. It's a way for them to get their humans' attention so they can get the help they need. Unfortunately for fantasy lovers, a dog's howling has nothing to do with the full moon. It may be connecting with its inner wolf by howling, but it's just a way of communicating. Question 3. Why do dogs eat poop? To some, the idea of eating dog poop may seem gross, but to dogs, it's totally natural and comes by instinct. For instance, when a mama dog has a litter of puppies in the wild, she has to clean up their poop the only way she can, which is by eating them. But before you say, ew, it helps to keep her den clean and also protects the puppies from predators who may be attracted by the smell. Plus, dogs eating poop also coincides with their natural curiosity and desire to smell and taste everything. However, some dogs eat poop out of boredom, a lack of proper nutrition, or a lack of training against the behavior. And though science does not really understand why dogs eat poop, they have discovered that dogs prefer fresh feces over old ones. Be that as it may, no one wants their furry friend eating poop. And so, to avoid that, you have to give them proper nutrition and sternly warn them against the act whenever they try to eat poop in your presence. Question 4. Why are dogs' noses wet? If you have a dog, you must have noticed that your dog's nose is usually wet. And there's a scientific explanation for it. Science states that a thin layer of mucus clings to the nostrils, which enhances the absorption of scent chemicals and improves the dog's ability to smell. In simpler terms, dogs excrete a thin layer of mucus around their nose, and it helps them to better absorb the different scents that they come across. A dog's sense of smell is one of its most remarkable features, and so a dog's wet nose helps to amplify its sense of smell. Aside from amplifying a dog's sense of smell, a wet nose also helps them to regulate their body temperature. This is because dogs lack normal sweat glands throughout their body. So, they rely on the secretion of sweat through the pads of their feet and their nose to help cool down. That said, since dogs are constantly licking their noses to clean themselves from all the places they stick them in, what many dog owners fear is when their puppy's nose is dry. Before you worry and think a dry nose is a sign of illness, it could just be that your dog isn't licking his or her nose at the time, or it could be a hot and sunny day. However, if your dog's nose is severely dry, cracked, or bleeding, then you should go see a vet. Question 5. How do you stop dogs from digging? Just like howling or eating poop, dogs dig instinctively. But when they develop the habit, it can become very challenging to train them out of it. But keep in mind that digging is not an effort by your pup to irritate you. Dogs find digging fun. It provides an escape for them, along with comfort, protection, and attention. But if you want to stop your dog from digging, then try offering them new entertainment, such as walking them daily, playing fetch with them, or taking a training class with them. To stop the habit of digging, dog owners just have to make sure that their dog is getting plenty of exercise and is never left unattended in the yard. Dog parents can also designate a place for their dogs to dig, like a sandbox. You would have to bury some milk bones or other treats in the sandbox to attract your dogs to the designated area. But once you create their own special digging space for them, they will gradually stop digging around your yard. To further make sure of this, when they do dig in the sandbox, be sure to give them a treat and praise them to encourage that behavior. Question 6. Do dogs dream? The answer might shock some people. But if you've had a dog for a while, then it's likely that you have seen them turn and twitch in their sleep. It's kind of like how humans do when we sleep. If you watch your dog closely when they sleep, you will notice that they occasionally move their legs as if running. They whine, whimper, breathe heavily, have normal eye rapid movements, or even bark. It's not uncommon to see dogs do these things from their sleep, and this is because dogs dream just like we do. According to pedigree research, dogs even have similar sleep patterns and brainwave activity to people. One interesting thing the study showed was that small dogs dream more than larger dogs. For instance, a toy poodle dreams once every 10 minutes, whereas a golden retriever only dreams once every 90 minutes. Isn't that interesting? Studies have also speculated that dogs dream in a similar way to humans, but we can only speculate. Who knows? Maybe your dog dreams about you. Question 7. Why do dogs lick you? If you own a dog, you have most likely fallen victim to one of their many slobbery kisses. But just like barking and howling, licking is also a form of doggy communication. From the moment they're born, dogs are instinctively drawn to licking. A mother dog also licks her babies to feed and care for them. But when your dog licks you, it's just his or her way of showing affection for you. After all, you are the one taking care of them. Also, when dogs lick, there are pleasurable endorphins that are released into their blood, which makes them feel calm and comforted. You would hardly see dogs licking people that they are not familiar with. They only lick people they're comfortable with. And aside from showing their affection with their wet kisses, dogs also lick because they like the salty taste of your skin, which is why some dogs love giving kisses after a workout. But generally, if your dog licks you, it's just because they love you. Question 8. How do you clean a dog's ears? Many people have made the mistake of cleaning their canine pet's ears with Q-tips, which is why this is a popular question on Google. Dog owners are required to clean the ears of their dogs, but excessive ear cleaning can also be damaging to the ear canal. This is why you have to get it right. So instead of using Q-tips, use lots of liquids. You can fill your dog's ear with a cleaning solution and then rub it in by massaging the dog's folded over ear. After rubbing, you can use a tissue and wipe away ear residue. If your dog isn't sitting still, in place of Q-tips, you can use a cotton ball to clean out the gunk. You should soak the cotton ball in an ear cleaning solution before putting it into your dog's ears. And with the cotton ball over your fingertip, wipe the accessible portion of the ear clean. After cleaning, allow your dog to shake out any excess fluid and debris from their ears and clean the base of their ear with a dry cotton ball. Question 9. Why do dogs have whiskers? It might interest you to know that while cats need their whiskers to survive, dogs don't. So why do they have them? Even though whiskers are not a survival tool for dogs, they are still important to them. A dog's whiskers are modified sensory organs. They use it to sense the air around them to determine which direction a scent is coming from. As a sensory organ, touch, air, and vibration stimulate the whiskers and send a message to their brain. They serve as a kind of night vision for dogs, acting as a radar in the dark to let them know where they are. This helps with low and light movements when running and hunting. Whiskers also help with giving dogs their balance, and so even though trimming them would not hurt the dog, it could make them less spatially aware. Additionally, whiskers are known to help dogs communicate fear or confidence during encounters with other dogs. Question 10. Why do dogs bury bones? Just like most behavior with dogs, burying bones is a survival instinct. Before dogs were domesticated, wild dogs would search for food and water, and because their meals were unpredictable and scarce, dogs buried bones as a way of storing food. Dogs do this not just as a strategy to ward off scavengers, but to preserve and age the meal by keeping it in a cool place away from sunlight. Thanks to their remarkable sense of smell, they always seem to remember exactly where they buried their bones. So when you see a dog burying a bone, they are not just playing, they are ensuring their survival. That said, there are a lot more questions that we want to find out about our canine friends. We never stop learning about them. As such, you should check out our video, Why Does Your Dog Sleep With You? Is it just because they are man's best friend? Or is there more? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.